Hello, everybody, and welcome to the late night news slash spotlight on the multiverse slash conversation and cocktail slash everything you can put on a Monday.
Always.
We're doing a whole we're doing like a whole smorgasbord buffet of going to now Monday product for you, because it's Vanessa and I, and yeah, and multiverse is on its way. We're almost there. I'm sure Vanessa doesn't want to be reminded of that at this moment.
I am not ready.
But
I am not ready. That's what I spent the last few days doing is
oh, oh,
like working on the schedule. So, because usually our schedule is out and public well before now, but I've had a couple months. I've had a couple months. Like they've been not great. So, okay, Joe, you're frozen. Is he frozen for y'all? Who's frozen for y'all? Is it me or is it him? Let me see. I don't think it's me.
hello.
There you are. Hello. Can y'all? Okay, it's Joe.
Okay,
It is
yes,
Joe. I thought
yeah.
it
My
was
internet's
Joe.
lagging a bit, so sorry about that. Uh,
That's okay. That's okay.
all right, yeah, my internet's lagging a little
So,
bit, so we'll figure it out.
yeah,
I wanted to
yeah.
mention this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that I've been working on the schedule particularly the last well, probably the last 3 or 4 days, really hardcore. I was doing it in fits and starts for a couple of weeks, but I mean, we've been working on the schedule for a long time. Don't get me wrong, but like we set it
Right.
up in one system, and then because they stopped doing an app a couple years ago, we have to then take it to a different system so that people have access to an app for it, so that's the part that I've been working on the last couple of days is moving it all over. So you you spoke. I was just going to say.
Understood.
So Joe, you were just sitting there, so I thought you were frozen again, and so I was going to yell at Anita for Gene. So
All right. No, I'm here. Hopefully, the lag will go away, but we'll see how it goes. I wanted to mention real quickly, uh, we're doing a send a star aspect of the thing again. So to let the producers know, hosts and producers, we're gonna have a $25 Amazon gift card, and then also adding on a $25 Bandcamp
ooh,
or drive through RPG gift card, depending on which one you prefer more, music or indie gaming, and then your choice of a Go Indie Now shirt or mug, and some ebooks from people who want to donate ebooks from people who are
oh,
around.
that's super cool. I want a
Yeah.
mug.
I also want to mention that the stars for part of the stars for this program, because it is associated with multiverse, I will match if somebody sends a star. I will match that and send it to the Trevor Project because that is the multiverse charity. Everything
Yes.
that everything that I've done so far with Spotlight to Multiverse, I've been tallying, and I'm making that donation to the Trevor Project as well. So it's going to a good place for that
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
So
Ariel,
because I
go
don't
send a couple stars. You'd have to do it on Facebook. That's
I don't
on Facebook, right? It's on
yeah,
Facebook where you
it
send
is,
the stars.
it
Yeah.
is, yes,
So
yes. I yeah, I don't need the money, so the Trevor Project needs it more, so that's why I decided to do that. So.
you're such a good guy.
Plus, it's a great way to promote what multiverse is doing. So,
Yes, we
all
love
right.
that. Oh, I forgot to turn the light
Uh,
on.
but we're here
There you go.
to talk about multiverse and everything. Uh, so Vanessa, my first question to you is, what's new this year at Multiverse? What can people expect?
Okay, so what's new this year? We have new directors of the right track. For those of you who have been to Multiverse or whatever, I was the right track director, but then I got promoted to programming director, but we didn't have somebody to take over. So I did Right Track last year. But this year we have a couple co-directors. We have Rosie J. Potter and we have Kyoko M. They are going to be running the track this year, and that's always exciting. I'm trying to think of what we have new. What do we have new this year? Oh, I do know what we have new. And this is a support thing and not necessarily like a programming thing. So we are going to have healthcare professionals on site. So Usagi Medical Group is a group of professional health pros, both like EMTs, nurses, paramedics, also counselors, therapists, and stuff like that volunteer their time at conventions and actually so there'll be an actual medical space if you like fall down, if you hurt yourself, if you get overwhelmed, or if you get triggered and you need to talk to someone. Thank you, Sean. Excellent. I'm so glad you're here. So any of those things, if you need, oh, I lost Joe. If you need aspirin, if you need, Band-Aids or something like that, you can get them there. So I'm really excited about that personally because I was at a convention in May and had need of them. And they treated me so well. Like everything they did, they asked before they did. They're like, okay, I'd like to take your blood pressure. Can I put this cuff on your arm? And so like they asked for consent every single step of the way, which was amazing to me. And so I'm super excited about having them here. We're actually going to have a GoFundMe because I'm paying for it out of my pocket. It is not cheap. They do volunteer their time, but there's insurance and supplies and hotel rooms and stuff that we are responsible for. So there will be a GoFundMe soonish for that, for anybody who wants to contribute. Sean Hillman, who is our director of play, which is both the play track, which is where we have panels about gaming, both playing games and also writing games and running games. And he is also, oh, we got a raid. Yes. So Sean is also over the gaming hall, which is open until 1 a.m. every night, obviously, except for Sunday, because we stop at 4 on Sunday. But the gaming room has several new things. They've got a wizard painting contest, which is going to be super fun. There's going
All right, let's try that.
Oh, that's much better. Welcome back, Joe. You're much louder too, much clearer.
Hang on. My volume's off.
Thank you, Talon Artho, for the raid. Huzzah! Oh, it didn't let you raid. That's a shame. I'm so sorry. Hello, Rose. Welcome in. Hello, Coderpillar. We were just talking about some things that are new. So we're doing something a little different for this show is Joe and I are going to ask each other questions. And y'all can ask questions as well. So we encourage everybody in the audience who has questions about Multiverse to please feel free to ask them in the chat. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for the raid. So I already, Rose, you missed it. You guys weren't here in time because I already talked about you and Kyoko as being something new. Well, you're not something, you're some people. So yes, miniatures. Wizard painting is miniatures. It's a contest. You're not going to paint them there, although we do have an option to paint minis in our create track, but you bring in already painted minis and then you're judged because that's what we do. We judge. We've already gone over that in Tellen's stream. Yes, you are something new, Rose. So what, let me see. Did I get everything that Sean said? Yeah, the Kill Team. That's what it is. The Kill Team tournament. It's in 3 parts. I don't actually know anything about it because I'm not really a gamer, but yeah. So anyway, yes, very judgy. That's me. So those are a couple new things. I'm trying to think if we have anything else new. We've got a lot of fun stuff going on in the Create track. There's a thing that we've got somebody who's going to show people how to bling out their hearing aids, which I love. She was one of our guests last year, and one of my friends saw her hearing aids and was like, what is this? So out of all that came a little session in our Create track that is going to be for blinging out your hearing aids. Another thing that's a little new is, and this is kind of more behind the scenes, but you'll see it when you look at the schedule whenever it comes out, hopefully by this weekend, is that we've had tracks sort of coordinate together, collaborative sessions. So you'll see that there might be something from the play track in Learn, or something from art in Create. And so that's a lot of fun. I really enjoy that everybody's doing that. So
yeah, they're real excited about it. Everybody I talked to who was a track director was like, that is the coolest thing about this year, is that they were planning big events within the two tracks together kind of idea. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's something that I've really kind of wanted to do for a while, but it's, then it's also like, okay, how do we make that work? Right. But the track directors, I work with such an amazing team. Our track directors are like top notch. So they did it. They did it. All right, I get to ask you a question now, right?
Yeah.
And y'all, if you guys have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Okay, my first question to you is, what made you want to come to Multiverse that very first time you came?
I think I've told a story before, but you invited me to the virtual Multiverse the year it was virtual, and I audited, because you let me audit a couple of the panels, and I audited women rule panel, or girls rule, or whatever you called it.
Girls rule,
yeah. And I was so impressed by how it went and how it was running, and we had just started to get to know each other, you and I, and so it was like, you were like, yeah, we're doing this and doing that, and then I reached out and said, okay, how do I get more publicity to Multiverse? And so you connected me to Jesse and Allison, and I sat down and interviewed them. And they invited me to be press at the first Multiverse I went to, and from there it was just it just went on from there and moved forward. So that's how it all
went wild, because then all of a sudden your entire year is taken up with Multiverse Spotlight.
Yeah. And then sponsoring it and being a part of it. So yeah, it's been a really awesome evolution. I couldn't be more, feel more fortunate or lucky about it, because I'm so grateful to all that Multiverse has given me, and all the things that I've been able to do because of Multiverse.
Well, we are lucky to have you, because you are just wonderful. So
thank you.
If y'all get an opportunity to meet with Mr. Joe Compton, please do it, because he is one of the most lovely humans. All right, that was a pretty easy question I gave you. I hope you give me an easy one back.
All right. That's how we're going to play it. All right. Well, I was going to ask you about your track history, but we'll save that for a medium question. That's more of a medium thinker question. What, I'm curious how year two has been different for you from year one. Are you feeling a lot like it's getting easier, or is it, are you being able to implement a lot more of what you want to do in now that you're kind of put your foot down and have this all your job?
Put my foot down. Y'all going to do what I tell you to do. And Sean wants to know who my favorite track director is.
I have a feeling that's a loaded question from
He's
Mr. Hellman.
angling for it. He's angling for it. My favorite track directors are the ones where I don't have to do their job for them.
Ooh.
No, no, all my track directors are fabulous. I adore all of you, for different reasons. I like your curmudgeonliness, Sean. But the thing is, there were several that I had to do their job. So it's not like it was just, I'm just throwing shade to one person. Okay, Joe, I completely, whether this year was easier. This year was actually a little, it was about the same as it was last year, only because, I mean, I got Rose and Kyoko, who are going to be handling the right track. But at the same time, several of our directors have gone through some seriously traumatic and problematic events that took their time up. And so even though I was I was, busting Sean's chops about this, but several of our directors had issues and I had to go in, but that's my job, right? Yeah. That's how I view myself. I don't view myself as the programming director, so I say what we do in all things. That's not how I work. No,
that's not how Multiverse has ever worked either. So
right, exactly. And I mean, anyway, so
should work. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way. It should work.
I view my role as support for my directors, right? My directors are doing their jobs of creating the best track programming that they can create. And it's my job to help facilitate that. That's how I view it. And if they can't do a thing, then it's my job to make sure that thing gets done. If something happens, they're not going to be there. We have a couple of our staff who aren't going to be able to actually be at the con this year, which means several of our tracks are going to be shorthanded. So obviously we're going to fill those spaces with volunteers as much as we can, but I'm also going to make sure that I am spending time in all of those track rooms more than the others to make sure that they have the support they need. So that's sort of how I view it. So it's really, and this year is not any smoother than I don't want to say smoother. It's not any easier than last year, because last year I had extra responsibilities, and then this year people had things going on. So there were more things that, I had to juggle. And of course I'm having stuff in my life because it's the 2020s and everything sucks all the time. Every year is worse than the year before it. Yeah. And so I won't say it's easier. What I will say is that the processes are becoming more sort of, not, I don't want to say ingrained, but the processes are smoother because we're figuring out what works and what doesn't, and we're trying different things. And so we've got a lot of the processes pretty smoothed out. We've shortened the meeting times in several cases, or the number of meetings we have to have, which is always really helpful. Yeah. And stuff. So I've been trying to specifically find ways to make the processes more efficient. And I think I feel like we've done that in a lot of ways, in a lot of pieces this year. So in that way, it is a little bit easier. Okay. So
we have several questions for the both of us in the chat. So we'll go back. You have the next question to me. The next lull we have, but we do have other questions.
Let's hit the audience questions, and then we'll fill our stuff in with the audience questions. I'd like to start with Ariel first, because that feels like a pretty big overview. Yeah. Okay. What sets Multiverse apart from other cons? Joe, I want you to do that one first.
Okay. What sets Multiverse from other cons is that I believe of all the cons I've ever been to, it's the most diverse. It is the most inclusive. It really brings together people because it is in a more intimate setting. What I love about that idea is that the rules are kind of not, they're there to be to be safety holders for people. They're not there to enforce how you should experience your con. And I think that's the difference between a lot of these cons. And I'm starting to see a lot of cons actually steal from Multiverse because they attended Multiverse and saw this. But because I felt like at a couple of the cons I went to this year, there was a lot more of Multiverse in them than their cons in Multiverse this year. So what I mean by that is the interaction is not just within the BarCon or this particular event or that particular event. The interaction and participation is throughout the entirety of the venue. So from having a meal with 40 people to going to a panel and the audience is as much of the panel as the panelists are, and there's a conversation that happens after the panel and before the panel. Every time that I've ever been on a panel at Multiverse, it happens every single time. There's a before and after, and then
that's why we leave 30 minutes in between all the sessions.
and it is so well organized too that I feel like I've rushed out of other cons and felt like I was rushed. I've never felt that way about Multiverse ever, except maybe the times when I'm up at to the crack of dawn and then have to have a 10 o'clock panel. Other than that,
but that's
my
your
fault.
own bad decision.
Right. I was just saying that's my fault. That's not Multiverse's fault. But yeah, but that's the case for me. I really feel like it is more family oriented than I've ever been a part of any con. And when I say that, it's not to slight other cons. I have much mad respect for all the cons that I've been invited to and been a part of or had been to, but there is moments there that don't mirror the entirety of what Multiverse is, and so that's where I stand with that.
Yeah, and I think that comes down to if you are our people, you are home when you get there. You know what I mean? Like that's always been the things we've always said is we just need to get people there.
Yeah.
Once we get them there, they will keep coming. So a couple things that kind of set us off from a lot of other cons I've been to, aside from everything Joe has said, because I also agree with everything he said. We have a few different things that you don't see at a lot of fan cons. So we have a meetup. We have a meet track with MEET, which is about meetups, right? So that's the place to go to just be social. And, and it's especially good for folks who are introverts because it can be scary not knowing a bunch of people. But if you can go into a room and it's not the whole con, it's just people who are this, whatever it is. We have a musicians meetup. In the past, we've had military meetup. We have an LGBTQ meetup. We have a neurospicy meetup. We've got, what else do we have?
Filmmaker meetup.
Yeah, we've got meetup. And podcasting meetup. So yeah, so you can just go and just geek out about whatever your thing is. We also have a sensory break room. So this is a room that is kind of in the far corner of the con. It doesn't share a wall with any other rooms. It's got lower lights. It's got like bean bags and stuff. It's got coloring books. It's just to go and sit and just if you've become overstimulated, you can just go and ground and reset. And it is right by an outside door in case you need to go out and touch grass. So yes. And then we also have a learn track, and it is modeled after academic presentations, like paper presentations. You don't have to have a paper, but it's really about something you geek out on. If it's a thing like if you really, really love astronomy, right? And you want to geek out on the Sagittarius stars, the stars that are in the Sagittarius, like you can do a little 15-30 minute presentation on it and people will come and listen. So that's a really fun one, I think. And our new we added a new track last year called Adventure, which is for kids. It's not like a babysitting space. The parents have to be there with the kids unless the kids are, over 13. But it's got we've got people to run it, and they do games and they do story times, and there's going to be a buddy parade, which means the kids are all going to have their little stuffies and they're just going to parade through Multiverse. I'm so excited for this one. It's going to be our first buddy parade.
Cool.
So yeah, and finally, I will note that we also have a create track, which is basically like a gigantic craft room. So you can come to a class. We have different classes in there, or you can do open crafting. So you can come get some supplies off the wall and make something and take it with you. So no, it's not bunny, it's buddy. Because the ranger who runs our adventure track, she calls stuffies buddies. These are my buddies. So it is a buddy parade. So yeah.
I will also add that while this is not unique to Multiverse, what is unique is the person running it, and that's Amy, and that is the con suite. The con suite is absolutely thought of as a part of Multiverse, as not just a place to, get a free snack or get a free. Amy takes a lot of pride and care in what she does and how she does it and why she does certain things for certain nights and certain things. I've never experienced that. I've been, every con I've been to has a con suite. The con suite is kind of the afterthought in a lot of these cons, to be quite honest. The con suite is a part of the Multiverse experience because Amy makes it a part of the experience, and I think there's no doubt that it is far the best one I've ever been to. So
yeah, we have, and part of the reason why, Amy is absolutely core to that, but I think also part of the reason why it's so cool is that we actually serve full meals at meal times. So, and Friday, yes, meat track. Friday night is always tamale night. And you have to get there soon enough before they run out of the little salsa that goes with it, because the salsa is what really makes the tamale. So, yeah. But yes, the con suite is fabulous. And in between meals, you can go by, get some snacks, get water, sodas, other drinks, whatever. I know
when Amy takes in dietary restrictions very seriously. Yes. She takes all that into account, and she makes sure that you have something. Even if she didn't have it, then she makes it and figures it out. I've seen her do it. I have seen her do it. So.
Yeah, if you're gluten-free, if you're vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, she's probably not going to have fish, but and con suite is part of the inclusivity of Multiverse because Amy aims to make it available to everyone. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, she was. I saw her yesterday. We were vending together at Decatur Book Festival.
Okay.
So yeah, it was nice to see her. So okay, so we have other questions.
Yeah. Which one do you want to talk about?
I would like to ask Coder Pillar to. Can you clarify that a little bit when you say the question was, what do you guys do to facilitate the networking online? Yeah. And I don't know if you mean having Multiverse members networking together, or if you mean getting the word out about Multiverse. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. So if you could, we'll answer Anita's question, and then if you could just clarify for us in the chat, then we will tackle your question next. What are some of your favorite past panels?
All right.
I'm gonna go first this time.
Yep.
Okay. So my absolute favorite panel that I ever did was the very first year. Now I was running the writer's track, right? But we had oh my God, Lisa. What's Lisa's last name?
Wood.
Thank you. I completely blanked. Y'all, the brain fog in menopause is real. It's awful. Okay, anyway, Lisa Woods was director of the horror track, and she put on Girls Rule, which was a panel about how women are portrayed, specifically in horror because it was a horror thing, but also how writers can both writers, filmmakers, creatives can portray women, people who are not women can portray women better? What are the things that, we find problematic? When I tell you that panel was amazing. I mean, and we did it for many years after that. I think this year is the first year we're not doing it. But we did that every year. And that first panel was incredible. Like, people left the panel and talked about it for hours afterwards. It was just so good, because it was really talking about, like, not complaining, not bitching about stuff.
No.
I mean, although there was a little bit of that, but like that very first year, it was really about uplifting the idea of having women and creating their characters as full characters, not as, the ingenue, or not as the soccer mom or whatever. You know what I mean? It was really, really good.
My first time attending Multiverse, I made sure to be to be at that panel, and I was the only guy there, which was sad.
Yeah.
But I was not the only guy there the next year, because I mentioned to a bunch of people that they should come to this and see it. And yeah, it is a really spectacular panel. For me, I have two answers to this question, because for me, being on a panel, I love talking period. So I'm okay with whatever topic I'm talking about. And, but I really, when I learn something from a moderator on a panel that I'm on and there's somebody else moderating, it really sticks with me. The best panel I attended at Dragon Con was a panel that JD Blackrose moderated, and she was like wrangling 7 people at one time, and it was freaking amazing what she did, and I learned so much from her on that. And I told her that after the panel. But the panel I was on was one of the first I was ever on at Multiverse, and it was a panel on new horror versus old horror, and Mark Abbott was the moderator. And when I tell you, I used things that I stole from Mark from that panel to this day. I am not lying. That was 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago that I was on that panel. And to this day, I utilize. Mark is so amazing at not only asking questions poignantly and getting everybody to respond in a way that everybody can respond, but he is also so good at handling the audience and allowing the audience to be a part of his panels. And that is tenfold why the second thing I really love is a panel I've never actually been on, because it's just not my thing. But it's my thing to be there every year and be in the audience to participate. Is Monster Mash. That is the most unique thing I've ever seen. It is Jerry Springer with nerds, and that is
nerdy
exactly
Jerry Springer. So Monster Mash, and I agree, because this was also going to be my second thing, because Monster Mash is basically a whole bunch of guests, usually anywhere from 8 to, we've probably had as many as 15 or something like that, and they're divided into 2 teams, and Mark Abbott is the MC. And basically he will give there are different, there's several different rounds, but for each round he will give each team a monster, and they're usually monsters that are similar in some way, like Dracula versus Nosferatu or something like that. And then they get like 3, 4, 5 minutes to talk amongst themselves and figure out how they will argue that their monster is going to kick the other monster's ass.
Yeah.
And then they make their arguments. And when I tell you, it is trash talking, like it is just, I had never been to one until year before last. The first year I was programming director, I was like, okay, let me stop in and see how it is. I got sucked in, man. I was trash talking from the audience. So yes. Oh no, Mark, no, poor Mark. Mark handles it Mark handles it with aplomb.
And part of the reason why it works and is so great is it's part performance too. There's a lot of great performers that jump into this, like Joel and Mark. The banter between the two of them every year is so exciting to watch, and then to watch Mark just react. And he is so good at that, and it's really amazing. That's what really sells it. And for me anyway, and I I can get over the loud yelling at one another, and sometimes it gets a little much, to be honest. But it is a special thing. It is just something special, and you will radiate with energy once you come out of that panel. I guarantee it.
It is hilarious. You can come out of that panel and then just immediately go to the dance floor and boogie your butt off. Oh, this year's theme. Hello, Heather. This year's theme for the dance, we have a dance on Saturday night. This year's theme is goth prom.
Nice.
So yes, because horror won. All right. So Code Pillar's question is, what do you guys do to facilitate the networking online? And the specificity is connecting between people in multiverse and getting communication in your community. Well, we have a Discord. That's one thing. We also have a Facebook group. We talk about it a lot on my Twitch, especially as we come up on it. But yeah, and it's really funny because a lot of guests are also in the Writers Troupe, which is the Writerly Support and Education group that there's so much overlap, y'all. It's so much overlap. But so like we connect with each other in all kinds of different ways. So that's, I'm not sure if that exactly answers your question. Go ahead, Joe.
I can add to that. The Discord has a Friday night meetup that typically happens. That's happy hour. That's run by Jesse, who is one of the co-chairs of Multiverse. For those who don't know, Jesse Adams and Allison Chatsworth are the co-chairs of Multiverse. They're the creators, and they are who we all look to as for this wonderful event. So Jesse is typically the guy who moderates that aspect of it, and everybody comes in for a little bit, and you can come in, come out, so you get to know a lot of people through that. A lot of regulars, a lot of people who are very prominent in the multiverse universe for us. And I also mentioned that here, I mean, I brought a lot of people to multiverse through GoIndie now, but I also do every single April we start what's called the Spotlight on the Multiverse, and I interview the guests that come through Multiverse, the track directors, people involved in Multiverse. And then Venessa does it on her show, which is a conversation and a cocktail. She'll bring on the guests of honor typically, and then she usually has Jesse and Allison on once in a while as well. And then we also, on top of all of that, we started doing virtual panels for Multiverse this year on GoIndie now, which I think were a really rousing success. We did one on Sinners. We did one on AI's history with science fiction, and then the last one we just did was the writer track one about getting motivated to write when you're not motivated. So those are those are places you can go as well for that. So
yes. And Anita doesn't even go to Multiverse, and Anita's like, also anyone who's been to Multiverse spreads the word. We'll get you there someday, Anita. Someday. Heather. Oh, those virtual panels were great. And Heather says, I heard of Multiverse through Kevin A. Davis, who runs Inked Press, and Inked is one of our sponsors as well, a Multiverse sponsor. So thank you for that shout out for Kevin.
Yeah. And I also participated in my first role playing game ever on one of the virtual panels, and we also did we did a presentation. Kenneth Broom, who is the Learn Track director, had a presentation in the can that he usually had done before, that he was going to do for a couple years in Multiverse and didn't get to do it. So I said, why don't you come on here and do it and show us the Learn Track? And he did, and it was really fantastic. So. If you haven't seen those, they're all available on GoIndie now. You can go to the Spotlight on the Multiverse playlist to see all of those. So
yes. And also in the play track, we have our annual Chuck Tingle RPG.
Yes.
So yes, that is always good and ridiculous.
And every year the rumor is that Chuck's going to make an appearance, but we haven't got him there yet. So
no, not yet. But he is on tour right now, so we couldn't really do that. Okay, where did my
Heather said she was on a couple panels with him.
Ooh, fun.
I think she's talking about Kevin, but
oh, okay, gotcha. Because I was gonna be like, all right. Okay.
Thank you, Rosie, for that. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
So, and
I think cares of the chat questions. So, do you want to jump in with a question with me, or?
Hang on. I was actually gonna. I forgot a thing, and anyway, I freaked myself out for a second. I was gonna read the description of the Chuck Tingle.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so this also ties into the happy hours. So the other thing, if you come to the happy hours on Friday nights in the Multiverse, that's where a lot of the silly convention things, and so you'll find
it's where the lore
the multiverse lore begins. So one of the things about Multiverse is our official vegetable is the potato, and that goes back to a thing. So that also sets this up. So this year's Chuck Tingle RPG is Potato in Glass.
Ooh.
So the description is, as the characters camp near an old potato farm in the Badlands, they are transported into the past where the man in the potato sack emerged from the faceless Mashers Union and dared to love a potato matron. Can the characters get back to the present, or will they finally be salted and buttered beneath the rich soil of old Idaho? So,
and correct us if we're wrong, Sean, but I believe that's a continuation of last year's as well, because they ended on a cliffhanger last year because of time. So I believe they're continuing on with the same group and doing the same the continuation of the RPG. I could be wrong about that, but
no,
Sean,
you're absolutely right. He's doing the gunslinger basically.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, and yes, Tellin, that's exactly why I got excited about your potato that went floating through the stream.
There you go.
So, so yes. Yeah, the whole potato thing. And if you want to know what the potato thing is, you'll have to come find me at Multiverse and I will explain it to you. So, all right. I'm asking the next question.
If you'd like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So, what's the thing that you want to do at Multiverse that you haven't had a chance to do yet?
You're setting me up for this. I know you.
No, I would never. How dare you? I would never.
It's actually becoming a running joke here a little bit. But yeah, it's well known, and I've yet and people have said in this chat when we've talked about this that somebody was going to grab me and bring me. But yes, it is to sit down into the create room and create something and do something creative. I have yet to experience the create room in its all splendor in the way that it's meant to be experienced. I've been in there a couple times. I just haven't done anything because it wasn't the thing. But I have a yearning to craft a little bit since it's available, and so if I ever found the time, I would definitely do that. That is the one thing I'd want to do. And yes, several people, including Paige's mom, who is going to be Patty, who's going to be there. She is twice. She's twice promised she would drag me, and she hasn't yet. So, Patty, if you're watching this, I'm going to hold you to that promise one of these days. So, but.
Ariel asks if there can be a multiverse wrestling in the future. I'm joking, unless ... Funny thing is, it is not uncommon for me to get emails from actors, wrestlers, people who are, you know,
Yeah,
try,
it's becoming a big, yeah.
yeah. But the problem is, like, we're not that kind of con, right?
Yeah.
Like, because they want to get paid for it, and we don't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
So so I always have to let them know that no, we can't. But I'll bet if you talk to Sean about doing some kind of game thing, maybe you guys could come up with something. Yes, Sean says, once I get my leg, sure, I'll wrestle a bear. I mean, I do bears.
I do believe I actually talked to Woodrow about this on the Spotlight. We talked a little bit about how he was going to incorporate some of the paneling aspects with pro wrestling because he thinks that fantasy and pro wrestling have a thing to them. So we did talk a little. Yeah, sci-fi and pro wrestling. Sorry, I was confused too. I apologize. And I apologize, Woodrow. I've done that to him like several times now. But yeah, we did talk about that on air. Actually, we talked a little bit about that, and so I think there will be more focus, aspect of that somewhere down the line in some of the panels. I mean, this year we're doing a sports thing. Sean has put a sports one in his into his
Q&A.
So it's possible that pro wrestling gets mentioned in that as well because I'm on that panel. So
well, Rose is going to be the one who's moderating that panel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That'd be fun. No, and that's the thing I do not. Look, I am your sports ball moderator, and that's actually one of the things that I don't know that I will ever understand is the crossover between nerds and wrestling. I don't understand it. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I don't care. Like, I'm not judging it. Oh, bye, Heather. Thank you for stopping in. But like, I don't judge about it or anything. But I just do not understand that overlap. I do not get it. So yeah. But. I mean, we're probably not ever going to have like pro wrestlers wrestling. But I don't know. We've got an outdoor courtyard. We could probably put something up.
There was cornhole there last year, everybody. That's totally unrelated to wrestling, but I was just mentioning there's space for it. I am also unofficially, for anybody who's looking for the back alleys of Multiverse, unofficially, because we did this at JordanCon and we're starting to gather a group of us together. There will be an unofficial heavy metal meetup at Multiverse as well, where we will sit in a room and play some heavy metal for a little bit for everybody, and talk about our favorite metal stuff. So if you're a heavy metal fan and you're going to Multiverse, that is an unofficial thing. You will not see that on the program or anything like that. You just have to find.
Why don't you just go to the musicians and music lovers meetup?
Because that's where all the folk guys are. We don't want to.
Next time, suggest to Gigi that you have a metal meetup. I mean, this
is all done on the fly. So
I'm just saying you can have space. Yes. So Ariel, Sean said to talk to him about a wrestling themed RPG. So see, Kofu might be interested in the heavy metal meetup.
Yeah. Please. Yeah. I told him about it I told Rosie about it at Dragon, but yeah, so we didn't do it at Dragon, but because Dragon is just too big. So but anyway, no. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Okay, I got a softball for you.
Okay.
I'm curious, of all the things when you first looked at the new hotel and walked around, what was the interesting thing that excited you? Because there was one thing in particular that when you and I walked around, I was real excited about. But what was a part that you were excited about that you go, oh, I'm going to do a lot in this?
So see, that's not fair because this is not something anybody's going to be able to see because we still can't use it. So the hotel has this incredible auditorium that was originally supposed to be the right track. This incredible auditorium with all these, what are they? Aaron Miller. What is it? What is it?
Herman Miller.
That's it. So, chairs with, like the little tables you can put your laptop on, and then, like it's all goes down, and then there's a big stage with mics and a big thing you can bring a screen down on. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. but it's not ADA compliant. There's no way you can get down to the stage area if you have mobility issues. Literally no way. You can't go through the back. There's stairs in any way you try to get down there. So we can't use it because it's not ADA compliant, because we don't want to have a space that some of our guests or some of our attendees cannot use.
Yeah.
So that was the thing that I found most exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we can't use it. So that's not fair.
When we were walking around, there's these little slits in the walls that look like little telephone booths.
Those
that I was like,
too.
Yeah, those were like, ooh. It's also really cool because it's kind of this interesting maze. There's one room that connects to another. There's one hallway connects to another hallway that connects to another hallway, which got confusing for a lot of people at times. But the signage was up and everything, and the signage got put up there, and I think that was really, really cool that they put the signs up because I think that helped a lot of people. But that's another cool thing about the hotel. The hotel is very interesting. It's a very interesting place.
It's basically like an H shape, and one side has a couple, it's almost like this weird H with a really weird little thing right here.
Yeah.
And once you get that down, you get it. But I will say, Allison made these adorable signs, it's like those pointer signs, you see, a post with a bunch of pointer signs, like in MASH or whatever. So that you could just look and which direction you're supposed to be going to.
There's also a North Star there. And Allison pointed this out to me. Or actually, Allison's daughter pointed this out to me. She goes, "Just find the North Star," which is they put a banner, a multiverse banner that you can take pictures under, the picture banner.
Oh yeah.
And that, if you find that, you found where everything connects.
Where it connects, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right outside the adventure track. That? Yeah. So if you're supposed to be on the other side, you go that way.
Yeah.
The other cool thing about the hotel is it's got all these beautiful little courtyards.
Yeah.
It's got so many. The outside, the pool area is gorgeous. It's got an indoor and an outdoor pool, which is lovely. It's got an outdoor workout area. It's got, a whole exercise room, weight room, all that kind of stuff. But to go back to what you were saying about the little alcoves, so it's clear that it used to be for phones, right? So what we ended up doing was our meet track director put these backgrounds in them so you could use them as selfie, selfie area. Yeah, photo booth. So that was super cute.
Yeah, it was neat. It was neat. Yeah. And when you told me that, I was like, "Ooh, yeah, that's a really good idea."
yeah, that was the first thing that came into my head as soon as I saw them. I was like, "Oh, Gigi's gonna love this." So,
yeah. There's a green room now, and the other cool thing about the way, I think the thing that worked the best last year that was new was that Monster Mash had its own room, and karaoke had its own room, and both of those things get very, very loud and rowdy at times, and so them having their own rooms in the back area was the perfect placement for both of those.
Yeah. The real thing was really that they all had they have actual walls. So Monster Mash is a horror track event, but the horror track is in a room that is air-walled. So it's horror, it's fantasy, horror, and sci-fi all in the same area, and they're all air-walled. And so when you've got something really loud going on, and Monster Mash is really loud, it completely, interrupts anything that's going on around it. So that was the first thing I'm like, we are picking Monster Mash up and we are putting it in a room that has walls.
And whoever designed the layout, who smartly put the open bar in front of the Monster Mash, in between the Monster Mash dance party and the karaoke, they're all in one little space there. Whoever did that is a genius. So
that was the hotel. Yeah, that was the hotel. So speaking of the hotel, though, let's talk about the one of the things Multiverse does that a lot of other cons don't do. We've already talked about the con suite, which is completely free to use. But if you want something more standard, you can buy meal packages, right? For the restaurant. And the food, look at there. So we have a QR code over there. and the restaurant has really good food. Like for a
Yep.
hotel restaurant, it is really good. And so you can purchase like, if you don't want to think about food for the whole weekend, you can purchase a whole weekend package. You can purchase okay, I just want 2 lunches.
Yeah.
I just want 2 lunches. And so you can purchase a couple lunches, or you can purchase, 1 full day's worth of meals or whatever. So yeah.
And
so
you know what I'm going to mention. The best $40 you could spend at Multiverse is the 4-hour bar package where you get free drinks for 4 hours for $40. I don't know if you're drinking at Multiverse and you're not taking advantage of this. I don't know. I don't want to call you names, but think about it. Really think about it, because it is. I tell you, it is so worth it. It is so freaking worth it.
So
And
that's only for one night.
the bartenders there are super awesome. They were super amazing.
Yeah.
So,
and so just to be clear, that is for the bars that are in the con space that they run during the dance party on Saturday night. It's specifically for that. So that
again, super well organized. It was super well organized. Somebody was checking IDs. Somebody was checking to make sure you had the package, and then it was all good for them.
Yep. So and that's also a different thing. And the really cool thing about those meal packages are that they help Multiverse reach the food and beverage commitment that we have to do in order to get the event space. So we have to have a certain amount of food and beverage, and we have to have a certain amount of rooms booked. So this helps us reach that. Rose says, and in my opinion, the $40 open bar is basically buying a networking pass because it's so fun to hang out and chat with everyone.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah,
for sure.
That is totally right. I agree with that. I mean, people who were at the bar who didn't have the pass were still at the bar hanging out. So it's always going to be a good networking thing. I think the bar is always an attractive spot for networking. But you're right. When we talked about it, and somebody asked, like, I had several people ask me about the wristband when I was there, and that's what I was telling them. I was like, yeah, it's $40. I was like, you could go on the line right now. I think a couple of them did. You can go online at the con while you're there and take advantage of it too. So if you're not ready to do it just now, you're not thinking about it, but then you decide after 2 drinks, after you're paying for 2 drinks at any hotel, you got to think about how much worth it is it, right? At that point, right? So
no, you absolutely, yes, you can buy, and I'm pretty sure you can go to the registration desk of the con's registration desk and get it too. And for someone like me, I need the open bar to start networking. I mean, a lot of authors are like that, for sure.
Fair enough. That's fair.
Yes.
All right. Well, I mean, we've reached the hour. We're getting to the end of this. But this has been really, really productive, and thank you all for your questions and everything. I hope that we're seeing a lot of you in a couple weekends for Multiverse. And if you haven't decided to come, just to let you know, pre-registration runs till October 10th, so you still have time to take advantage of getting a ticket. Yeah. And so if you hit that QR code, that's where it will take you, and you can get a ticket to come. If you're in the Atlanta area or anywhere adjacent in Georgia, it's Peachtree City. It's a drive, but it's worth the drive, and come hang out with us. And you could do that. And if not for this year, look at it for next year. And I think you'll really, really like Vanessa said, our aim is to get you there once.
Oh. Rose's thing. Yes, put what Rose just set up on the screen. So Friday night workshop. Sorry, I'm gonna talk for a second, even though you're like winding us down. Friday night writing workshop. You get an opportunity to send in 1,000 words and then sit down with 2 guests and 1 or 2 other attendees and get your work critiqued by professionals. It is an incredibly fun and useful thing to participate in, also because it gives you face time for 30 minutes, an hour, whatever, with 2 industry professionals, published authors, editors, We don't have any agents, publishers maybe. So we have the link. You can find the link on the website if you go under, I think it's under Get Involved, I think. Let me double check. Yes, under the Get Involved menu at the top, you'll see Friday Night Writing Workshop. We have 4 days to get your submission in. It's only 1,000 words, and you can get critiqued. So definitely send that shit in.
Yeah, do it. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience for sure. And I know a lot of writers who got started in that idea. There's the link for everybody.
Thank you for the link, Rose.
A lot of people got started through that. A lot of people that are writing now, and so I think it's a really good place to go if you're getting stuck or you have a plot issue, or even if you're a veteran writer, if you have a plot issue or something that you're trying to work out, it's a good way to do that too, and get industry professional opinions on it as well. There's also, is there a pitch session this year, Venessa, as well?
No, we have slush readings.
Okay.
So we switch off. We do pitches 1 year, slush the next year.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Rosie says thank you. Yes, and she's stealing my thunder, but I that's what I want to end this on is, again, you work so hard, you do so much for us, Venessa, all year long on TWT, and then and then here for Multiverse and at Dragon Con now, and every year that this event happens, that you've been involved with it, I think it's gotten better and better every single year, and you're so amazing at learning how to fix the mistakes or make course corrections. I think you did an absolute amazing job at Dragon Con this year. I was super impressed by the writers track at Dragon Con, and I was super impressed by Multiverse's writer track last year, and I really feel like the whole con now that your attention is solely on the entire con programming, I think is going to benefit from that tremendously. I think we're in for probably one of the best years Multiverse has ever had, and that is solely because of you and what you do and all your hard work.
No. It is not solely because I was going to take it all until you said solely. It is not solely because it is my team that makes me shine. It is my team.
You're the one who brings the team together, though. So you are the coach. And
I heard those cats, but it is also the team. It is not me solely. It is not. It could not be. Oh my God! Could you imagine? Oh,
no. No. Yeah, we'd be talking to you in a corner, balled up.
For real. I'd just be like, man, they can stop. And I also want to give a shout out to Holly Hogan. She is the guest liaison, and she's kind of my right-hand human. Like and even that we're parallel. She is not like below me in the hierarchy. We are parallel in the hierarchy, but she is so good at what she does, and anything that I ever need, she is right there. So I just want to give a shout out to Holly, because I know she would never come on here ever, because she is not a spotlight person. She is definitely a worker bee behind the scenes. That's where she likes to be. So, but I do want to call her out as being just an incredible team player. So
yeah, and thank you to Jesse and Allison for giving this space to play and do everything that we do, at Multiverse. And thank you all for participating tonight and being a part of that. And we hope to see you there in a couple weeks. We'll be broadcasting live on Sunday at noon Eastern on at Multiverse. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday when Multiverse happens, we will be there live. Sean and I will be together. It's our one time to be together and co-hosting the show, so we take advantage of that.
I'll try to crash for a second again.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, and so we'll be live from Studio 42 there, and we're real excited about that. And thank you, everybody, for being here. And remember that it's always time to go indie now. Bye.